Good evening, good evening. Welcome to Real Talk with Deborah and Anastasia. I know you have been missing us, but we're back. We got a new time slot, a new day, but we are back. Right, Anastasia?
Break, but love. Oh, it's been a great break, but love being back.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for tuning in today. We appreciate everything that you do for us here at Build Your Best Life. We just love it when you like, share, and comment as well. We love it when you pray for us. So keep that up. We love it. So,
Love the
this
new
month
graphic.
we are talking about blueprint for next level education. And so today, Anastasia and I are going to break down that blueprint for you because we think that it is worth it. A builder must have a blueprint to erect a structure. They need to know all the materials that they will need, the intricate details, so they can ensure that everything's is fitting properly, meets specifications, is durable, and is what the customer wants. Our lives are no different. To have the life that you want, the dreams that you desire, and to fulfill your God-given purpose, you need a blueprint or a blueprint for success. So today, Anastasia and I will delve into what that looks like.
Yeah, and I know that when we think about the blueprint, we're looking at what can be put together for us by somebody else. Because, usually an architect does that. You go to them and you tell them what it is that you want and how you want it to look, and you want the kitchen on the left and you want the toilet on the right. And that all works. However, when we are thinking about or comparing it to life and real life circumstances, our architect is the creator. And so we can go to him and we can say, we can put those plans laid out and say that this is what I want for myself, this is what I want for my children, this is what I want for my career, this is what I want for my school year. And he will help us to build those plans and to draw those lines and connect those dots to get to where it is that we want to be and to lay that foundation properly for it to be built on. So let's start out with our B. The B in blueprint is build on what you have. Yeah, we're thinking cement and concrete and wood and all the rest of these things. Those are physical things that are needed for you to build. Yes. But when we're talking about building our future, building a life that we don't need a vacation from, building our best life, there are other things that we need, not just material things. So, yes, in some aspects, we will need to plan our finances. In some aspects, we will need to plan our fitness. We will need to plan around our family or including our family. But what we also need to plan on and make sure that we are building on is our internal foundation, which would be our character. And along those lines would be, how do you see yourself? When someone else is speaking about you, what would they say? Is this someone that is honest? Is this someone that is trustworthy? Is this someone that is reliable? Are you someone that is efficient and organized? When we're thinking about building, we don't only want for you to think about the physical things, needing the money, needing the support, needing the more physical touching things, as in, the concrete and the cement and things like that. We don't want you to only go there, but to also think on the character traits that you already possess and that you are able to build on and that are needed for the goals that you're setting for your future.
Awesome. I love that. Excuse me. Well, the L then is for link. Link. We want to link success with the journey. So you have to note those accomplishments along the way. You want to know, like, where am I? So I'm on the journey to getting my degree. But where am I? Am I halfway there? Am I fourth way there? Am I going to have the funds to get there? Do I need to stop and work and save money? Where am I? You need to link everything or every aspect with that plan so that you will know where you're trying to get and if you're making those accomplishments. And then encourage yourself. Even if you love to hear other people encourage you. Well, I am just so glad that you are trying to go back to school. That is going to be wonderful. It's going to help you in your business, whatever. But you can pat yourself on the back and encourage yourself. This is something that I've been wanting to do, and I am happy that I am working on getting it done. I could be procrastinating. I could be doing this. I could be doing that. And although my journey is not on a consistent, continual basis, I have to stop and start based on funds, because when I end this journey, I don't want to have debt. So I'm stopping, saving money, and then starting again. I am making progress, so I can pat myself on the back. And when you can see some progress, that encourages you to continue on your way. So I think it is essential to link your steps in the process as you go along.
Yeah, I so agree with you. A lot of times we're so focused on the end goal that we don't get to we don't realize that we're not even having fun along the way. But the next letter that we've got in Blueprint is U. Utilize your gifts. I know that you're thinking, okay, but what are my gifts? Maybe you haven't recognized them yet. You haven't identified them. And in the same way that you have to consider your inward person when you were thinking about your B and you were considering the skills that you have, when you are considering your gifts, it takes the same amount of introspection. Your gifts can be things like singing. It can be things like drawing. It can be things like dancing, athleticism, organization. I know that sounds like a weird gift, but whatever it is that you are able to do better than your, let's say, immediate circle of friends, it is said that you are the sum of, you are the average of the four people that you hang out with. So in those other four people, if it is that among them you are an exceptional dancer, you are exceptional at um, singing, you are, like I said, great at organization, you are that person who is able to see something that needs to be done, figure out how to way to do it, figure out a way to do it, and get it done more effectively and efficiently than anybody else in your group. That is a gift. There are many people walking this earth and moving along through life that cannot finish a task to save their lives. And so, as small as it may seem to you, whatever it is that you can look within yourself, or you have heard someone say to you, you know what, you do this really well, you do that really well. It is a gift. Consider it a gift. And there are many ways that you can utilize it. You just have to figure out how you're going to use it.
Great stuff. Great stuff. So, Dan, Deacon Holmes, Sean, I guess you say, well, y'all didn't talk about blueprint yet, but I'm going to talk about the E right now, erect. And so, yes, you have to erect that blueprint. You have to create that blueprint. So we didn't put it at the beginning of this because we spelling out blueprint, but you know that is essential. You have to have that plan. Where is it that I'm trying to go? What is it that I want to do? How am I going to get there? You can have someone can give you your dream vacation, and where that is, whether it's on an island somewhere, whether it's in another state, in your state, in a different part of the state. But how are you going to get there? What's going to be your mode of transportation? How long is it going to take you to get there? Do you have to change modes of transportation? You want to know all of that. So all of those details, all of that is going to go into your blueprint. So whether it is a goal that you have in mind, whether it is a purpose for your life, that you were born and God gave you that purpose that you may not have started when you were younger, but you have known all your life. Maybe it's something that you've been running from, that purpose that God gave you. But that's what you really need to be working on. It's a passion that you have. You want to own your own business. You are great at technology, and you've been working with companies and helping them to build and get rich. But deep down inside of you, you know that you can be an entrepreneur. You want to have that own business. So that's got to be the end result of my blueprint. So I know where I'm going to start, where I'm trying to get, and I've got to put all those details in there. So all of that is erecting our blueprint, and it is important. You have to have all those steps in there. So just think about it. You have this huge elephant, and someone says, hey, this is your meal for the next 4 months. This is your meal. And you look at it and it's like, oh my goodness, this is huge. This is huge. How am I going to eat this elephant? One bite at a time. So no matter how big that purpose is that's on your life, no matter how big that goal, no matter what it is, if you put those stepping stones in there, step by step by step, you can get it done. So it's important to design that blueprint, do it step by step, step by step. You can get it done. You can do it.
Absolutely. It only takes a spark to get a fire going. That's what they say. Isn't that how the song goes? I always love that song.
Yeah.
So, as we move on to the P in blueprint, we are looking to plan. And what are we planning? We are planning around our goal. Whatever that goal is, whether it is to get a 4.0 at the end of the year, whether it is to stick through my program so that I can get my degree, whether it is to buy that new home, whether it is to get that car, whatever the goal is, in order for you to get there, you're going to need a plan. Now, one of the things that our Bible has taught us is the importance of writing things down. It is extremely important to write things down. Have you ever had one of those times, one of those moments when you've been in a conversation with somebody and it's been a really fruitful conversation and you said, you know what, this is a great idea, or they've given you a nugget that you said, you know what, this is something I want to remember. And if you did not write it down, you cannot bring that thing back to your memory at any time for whatever reason. You can go back to the person and they won't even remember what it was. Write it down. So one of the best methods that I've found for writing things down when it comes to goal setting has been using vision boards.
Mm.
It's an easy way to do it because it takes the traditional way. It takes magazine clippings. It takes a few captions, some quotes and things like that to motivate you and help keep you focused. This is the house that I want. This is the car that I want. This is the goal that I want to achieve. These are the steps that I'm going to take to get there. Yes. In the newer version or the newer way to create a vision board, you can use an app like Canva. Canva is one of my most favorite apps. There are lots of pictures there. There are lots of fonts and different ways that you can move and maneuver these things so that you can create a vision board there. You can plan your process there. They've got lots of templates for you to be able to move through. If you like flowers, if you like trees, if you like cars, whatever it is that your vision entails, whatever it is that wherever it is that your interest lies, they've got a template for it. And so when we're thinking about that P and that planning, let's make sure that we write it down, keep track of it, and keep it in our forefront, in our peripheral vision on a regular basis so that we will not forget the steps to our plan.
Awesome, 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 awesome. I love it. Can you believe we're already down to the R? So our R stands for rely. Rely on what? One thing that you need to rely on are those that are assigned to assist you. That is so key. There will be days when you feel like I'm not getting anything done. I can't do this. I'm stumped. So you just feel like, woe is me. A lot of times you may get so down that you feel like, hey, I'm just going to stop. I'm not going to do this. Well, don't stop. Think about it. There is someone that is assigned to assist you. It does not matter what it is that you want to do in this world. There's probably not anything that someone else hasn't done. There are people all around you that are experienced. There are people like myself, like Anastasia, like my guests that are on. Miss Curley, Deacon Holmes, Dan, Sean Smith, that want to assist others. All you have to do is reach out and ask. So you cannot be afraid to, just give up, and you're not gonna humble yourself enough to ask someone, can you help me? I noticed that your car says you have a NASA sticker on your car. Do you work at NASA? Oh, yes. And they may tell you what they do there. I want to be an astronaut, and I'm just stumped. I've taken all the classes in high school that I think I can take, so I don't know what my next course of action should be. You know what? I have been looking for someone to mentor because I love what I do, and there are not a lot of young men that are coming into this field. I would love to work with you. How easy was that? And I guess you say, well, lady, you just talking. No, I'm not. It's as simple as that. I know people that are willing to help, and all you have to do is ask. So look around. Is it something that your neighbor does and I wonder how he does that? It's like my husband. I think it's just about, it's not too many things he doesn't know how to do. Well, how did you learn how to do all these things? Well, his dad. He watched his dad work on their house, cut yards, do things with the electric system, not too much with the electric now, but plumbing. And so when he retired, he became a handyman, and he can do a lot of different things. But because he watched someone, he had someone that could be a mentor for him. But it didn't necessarily have to be his dad. It could have been a neighbor. It could have been one of his coaches, an older sibling. But ask. Don't feel like I'm at a stopping point. I can't go any further. I'm just going to give up. Rely on the sense that there is someone assigned to assist you, and ask them, and they will be glad to step up.
I am sure that they would. And even though you may not have someone in your direct circle that's able to assist you, don't be afraid to reach out to strangers. Don't be afraid to talk to people. Don't be afraid to send an email or, slide in a DM in a good way. Just send a direct message. But as we go on, we're going to look at the I in Blueprint. And that I is for ignore. I know that's not the I that you were expecting, right? It's such a it's an unconventional I, but it is an I nonetheless, and it is ignore. Now, what I would like to say before I get into the second part of it would be, before you ignore anyone or anything that's pertaining to your goals and your situation, please, please, please use the spirit of discernment. There is a difference between someone being negative towards you and someone being concerned. What we want you to ignore is the negativity. Ignore the negativity. Do not allow anyone that has no goals set in their own lives to deter you from achieving your own. Do not allow anyone that is unmotivated in their own lives to slow down your motivation or to put you to a place of being unmotivated. And when you are considering your level of discernment, because, not all of us have it, that is not everybody's gift. It's not everybody's blessing. And if you do not feel that you have the discernment on a wider level, on a wider scale, I'm sure that there is still at least one person that you know that when you speak to this person, they are speaking to you from a place of love. They are speaking to you from a place of concern. They want what's best for you. They have your best interests in mind and at heart. And if you do not trust your own judgment, it seems very likely that you would be able to trust theirs. So even if it's only that one person that you feel that you trust that you have in your corner, make sure that you are reaching out to that person and talking about your plans and discussing your steps and making sure that they're not only realistic and possible, but that you are sticking to them, because this person will end up being your accountability partner.
It's good.
This person is going to keep you on track and make sure that you stay online and on target, because they have your best interests at heart and they're going to want to see you do well. So let's use that I and ignore the negativity, ignore the haters, ignore the people that want to bring you down, ignore the people that are trying to tell you how to make $1 million when they've only got 12. And let's make sure that we are using our spirit of discernment to figure out who it is that is good for us, who's not so good for us, who's good to take advice from, who's not so good to take advice from, and who's going to make sure that we are doing what's best for us and not just trying to keep us in a position that we shouldn't be in.
That's good. And I love this comment from Sean Smith. He says, be curious, inquisitive, and then ready to act on the response. So you got to go out there. You got to want it. You go out there and, hey, when they say, hey, I'm ready, let's go, you got to be ready to go. So I love it. Thank you, Sean. All righty. Our next one is the N. N. This is another word you probably didn't think we were going to use. It's never. And my never is never say never. Never say never. And that's one thing you don't want to do, because if you're saying, I will never do that, that means you're not going to even try. You have to put forth some effort. If you don't put forth effort or try, you are not going to accomplish anything. There is no doubt about it. But if you try, you don't know what you can do. But if you don't do anything, nothing in is nothing out. So if you want to do something great, you want to be something great, you want to try something new, you have got to, well, I might not be the most athletic one. I might not be an Einstein, but I can always do the best that I can do. So I'm going to try. Just think about these people that I'm going to tell you about now. If they hadn't gone the extra mile or did something different, if they had said, okay, well, I'll never. What about Michael Jordan? Yes, he wanted to play basketball. He loved basketball. But what about that time when he tried out for the team and he didn't make it? What if he had said, well, I'll never play basketball. I'll never try out for another team. Now, during that time, Michael wasn't the tallest person now. He hadn't hit that growth spurt. But even though he didn't make that team, he didn't say, I'm going to give up. He practiced and practiced and practiced. And then that summer, he even had a growth spurt. And look what happened. He made that next team. He got a scholarship. He went to college. He went to the pros. And he not only has mastered basketball and got all these accolades, he's a business person. He's a spokesperson. And who doesn't know Mike? Who doesn't want to be like Mike? Just think if he had said never. Something to think about, right? When you go in a room, don't you like to turn on, hit that switch and get a light? Oh, it's right in here. Got a light here and a light over there and a light over there. What if Edison had tried one time and it didn't work and he gave up and said, you know what? I'm going to try some other experiment and try to get something else to work. Maybe nobody else would have ever tried. You may still be lighting candles and using, we wouldn't even be using flashlights. We'd still have candle and kerosene lamps. But Edison didn't give up. He kept trying and trying and trying. until he got those lights to work. And I don't know about you, but I am glad he did because I like some light. Ask my husband, George Washington Carver. He discovered that he could do something with the peanut. But he didn't say, well, I discovered a use for this peanut. I've done something. I don't need to try anything else. I never will try another thing. Nope. He just kept trying and trying and trying. Now, he came up with hundreds of use for the peanut because he didn't give up. And my favorite, now my all-time favorite is Muhammad Ali because not many people knew that Muhammad Ali was afraid of flying. And I guess you say, well, a lot of people are afraid of flying, but he actually had the phobia that he would just lose it if he had to get on an airplane. Well, he had got on an airplane once to take a trip within the United States, and he trembled and sweated, and he just about lost it getting where he wanted to be. But then his opportunity came to go to the Olympics. And he was like, I can't do it. I got to get on a plane. Oh, I can't do it. I cannot do it. His coach like, hey, the only way for you to get to the Olympics is for you to get on an airplane. Like, I can't do it. Well, eventually he told his coach, okay, I'm going to do it. But what his coach didn't know, Muhammad Ali didn't just say, okay, I'm going to get on. He contacted the Air Force. He wanted to know how many planes went down, what was the probability of a plane going down. He was afraid, but he wanted to go to the Olympics. Now, the end of the story. When he went to the Olympics, hey, it was all good. But if he had never gotten on that plane, never went to the Olympics, would he have become the greatest? Think about it. Don't ever say never. Try new things. Try new methods, try whatever. You can do it.
Okay. And I know that you may be wondering if the T in blueprint is try. No, it is not try, but it is to track. Track your success. In order for you to track your success, you're going to have to look back and then look forward. When you've already set that goal, you've already set that plan, you've already taken a few of those steps, it's in the timeline that you thought that it would be, or maybe it's not in the timeline that you thought that it would be. But you've already done the planning stages. You've already accumulated all of the resources that you feel that you need. You've already started on your journey. The next thing that you need to make sure that you're doing is tracking your success. There are times that we're going to get lost along the way. Some things happen unexpectedly. Some things, when they happen unexpectedly, they can derail us or they can accelerate us. Sometimes it puts a complete stop to what we're doing. We still need to make sure that we are tracking our progress, that we are tracking our success. Look back from where you are now. Think about what it is that you wanted to do. Remember, you were supposed to be writing it down, right? You were supposed to be setting up that vision board. Look back at your vision board. Remember when it is that you created it. If you had an extremely detailed one, then you're going to have a few dates in there maybe. Or you're going to have the dates in your plan, which was RP, So when you stop today and you look back at the goal that you had set, the plan that you had in place for it, and the execution of that plan that you intended, where are you? How far along have you come? How many of those stepping stones did you get right? How many of them did you skip? How many of them did you linger just a little bit too long on? All of this is a part of your tracking. And so when you stop today and you look back at your plan and your process and your execution, you can look forward and say to yourself, if there needs to be an adjustment to your plan, hey, okay, I expect it to be at this point along by now. I'm not here yet, and so I'm going to have to recirculate some things, move some stuff around, and put this plan together in a restructured way. Maybe you've gotten further than what you expected to be at this point. And so, you know what? Hey, I'm almost at the end of this goal. I can see it in sight. It's at the end of my fingertips. Maybe it's time for me to start thinking about what's next. In your tracking, you're going to be able to be aware of your surroundings, of your friendships, of your relationships, of all of these things. It will make you more aware of all of these things, because when you're looking back and you're thinking about, okay, I'm not exactly where I should have been at this point, you're going to think and reflect on why. Why am I not in the place where I wanted to be as yet? Or if it becomes a positive reflection and you're saying to yourself, you know what, I am much further along than I thought that I would be at this point. I am so blessed to have been propelled and to have this acceleration in my life. You're or the circumstances that helped you to get to that point also. And then when you look forward, you can continue your planning or, like I said, recalculate and move around some things in your planning to help make sure that you stay on track or get back on track, and that you are beginning your plans for the next things to come, the next step. We should never be complacent in the goals that we've set today or the ones that we've set yesterday. We should always be looking forward to our next thing and our next goal without forgetting, without remembering to enjoy the process along the way.
Right.
Right.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
All right.
All right.
So we
we
appreciate you being here on Build Your Best Life. And I hope that going through these acronyms for Blueprint, that you learned something resonated with you. You may be saying, hey, I've been seeing this young man, I think I'm going to reach out to him. Maybe he's too shy to reach out to me. I'm going to reach out to him. Maybe I can help him. Or, this is something great for my grandson, my great grandson, my son, whomever, my brother. But share the information. If we don't share, we can't get it out to people everywhere. And it is my goal to assist our young men all over the world, our mothers with sons all over the world. So we appreciate you sharing. Please join us Saturday morning at 9:30 a.m. for Saturday Morning Reel. The topic is going to be level up, because this is all about next level education, which is not only book knowledge, but wisdom and all kind of good things. So make sure that you join us Saturday morning if you are able. Do you have anything else? Anastasia?
Not really. I just want to encourage everyone to make sure that you are living your best life, that you are building your best life, and that, as you said previously, make sure that you are enjoying the journey. Let's not focus so much on the goal that we forgot the journey and we're not enjoying each of the steps along the way.
All right. Thank you. Please make sure that you remember this year we are declaring Jeremiah 29:11 over everyone's life, because God wants you to have the plans that He has for you. He wants you to have prosperity, and He wants you to have a future that you hope for. So please take some of these tidbits that we gave today and we've been giving all month. Design your blueprint for success based on the plans that God has given you. You got to put in the work and build your best life. And remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan. Guess what? It's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Stay safe. Take care. And we will see you next third Thursday for more real talk. Bye-bye, Anastasia.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Miss Deborah.